Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Tetra Ninja, and today I have some early gameplay footage of Just Cause 4 for you guys, a game that is coming out later this year, and I'll catch up with you guys in a second after this dialogue.
It's Luis. Sargento here. Mira a mí, un mincho a casquillos vacíos.
At the factory.
Sargento and Izzy did some research. They can help you get this place up and running.
Who's Izzy?
Hola, I'm the hacker.
Hi. Patch what you've got.
Your AR lens, Mira told me. Already done. You have an AR lens? Like a little computer on your eyeball?
Something like that. Let's get started.
So, I captured this footage at a Square-Enix held event last week in LA. It was actually a nice change to escape the East Coast Canadian weather and visit the ever sunny LA during this time of year.
That worked.
You just have to get past the hipsters that are everywhere.
Generators
in
well
Los
shielded.
Angeles. But overall, it's a fun place to be.
I think I can use my grappling hook to rip the plating off.
So Square-Enix provided flight and accommodations to the event just to get me there, but they're not. This video isn't sponsored. I'm not being paid to make this video, and I can pretty much say anything that I want.
Go. You know where to look.
So this is the PC version of the game, even though I was playing with an Xbox gamepad. I had the option of playing on the PC or the Xbox One X version of the game, but just like with Just Cause 3, the PC version of this game is by far the most superior version. I watched the gameplay of someone else playing on the Xbox One X version, and it still looked nice, but not nearly as good as the PC version, especially when you talk about frames per second. This game held solid 60, whereas it's definitely not 60 consistently anyways in the Xbox One X version. So yeah, they pretty much dropped us in
2 down, 1 to go.
From fairly close of the start of the game.
And they're on their way. Pick up the pace hardware.
We didn't get to watch the opening cutscene, but we did get to watch some cutscenes, and they pretty much dropped us in at the beginning and said, you have 4 hours, do whatever you want, tackle whatever mission you want, any side objective, any activities. Pretty much the world is your oyster, which is something that is really good about open world games these days. You can pretty much do
generators are all off.
Pretty much do whatever you want in what order you want, which is, I think, a really important thing of open world games.
Better wake this place up or we'll be fighting them off with sticks and stones.
Unfortunately, though, I was not allowed to show you guys any of these cinematic cutscenes because they wanted to save the story cutscenes and the majority of the story stuff for the full release of the game, which I perfectly understand. They don't want any spoilers for you guys. But what I did is, my main goal when I do these events is to do as many of the main missions that I possibly can, because I find that they are...
People, they're coming! Vámonos!
They provide the most white
Let's
meat,
get out of
basically, in terms of content, the bulk of the content.
That balloon thing is pretty cool, huh?
I think it'll come in handy. Where'd you learn to plan an ambush?
Out of la Abismo. You came out of nowhere, and the Black Hand didn't know what hit him. It was epic. Yeah? What's that in the road?
Must have been some fighting here.
Any ideas, Rico?
Oh yeah, just one.
Wait, are you gonna use that new lifter thing on the wreck?
Sure am. So this is definitely the biggest change in terms of gameplay from Just Cause 3 to Just Cause 4. It's the customization of the grappling hook. So you can actually select very quickly between 3 different loadouts of the grappling hook. You can see it right there, A, B, and eventually you will get a C. You quickly swap between them.
See, that's what I mean. Stuff like that.
With your D-pad, and the majority of the powers and abilities of the grappling hook that you found in Just Cause 3 return in Just Cause 4.
Like you?
Keep your eyes on the road, Sargento.
Cause I think I could do it. Always wanted to do something important.
It's complicated, Sargento.
Listo. Later. Mierda! Again?
I'll clear a path.
Try those balloons on those Black Hand huevones.
Hostile in our area of operation.
And you get the majority of the powers, the lifter, the nitro boosters, fairly early on in the game. You basically just have to complete main missions that are fairly early on in order to reacquire them. So luckily you don't have to wait long. Some of the best stuff in this game is trying to attach boosters to random things and animals.
Mom dead, dad long gone. You figure stuff out.
This is what works for me, Sargento. You find what works for you.
Bien, I guess.
For now, just worry about getting us to the extraction point.
Extraction? Hijo de pucha! I need to call them.
This guy can't even make a setup right. So, yeah, I think when I was talking to people about this game, their main concern was how much of a difference between Just Cause 3 and Just Cause 4 there would be in terms of gameplay, story, and graphics. And as you can probably tell just by looking at the game, graphically, it's fairly similar to Just Cause 3, which isn't a bad thing because Just Cause 3 by itself was a very beautiful game.
We'll be waiting.
As I attach a million balloons to this tank to get it out of my way. So graphics was never something that came into question.
Are you gonna use that
Just
new
Cause.
lifter thing on the wreck?
It was more of, are there going to be any significant changes to story?
First mission is bound to have a few hiccups.
Just focus, Sargento. Drive. They're still coming.
I'll talk about story in another episode as I'm not, because I don't get interrupted a lot by this dialogue. But I think the gameplay, other than the customization of the grappling hook, I didn't really notice any major significant changes. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because this game, in terms of gameplay, is one of the best games out there. There's just so much crazy stuff that you can do in this game. It pretty much says screw physics. We gotta make a game that is as fun as possible to play. You can hang glide, grapple out of nowhere. You can attach balloons to stuff. You can attach nitro boosters to stuff.
You work out those hiccups, Sargento, and you could be a real operations master for the army.
But I want to be, you know, in the shit, like you.
Guess what? We're in the shit right now.
Yeah, I guess we are.
In terms of gameplay, Just Cause is tier 1 in the video game industry, and I still had a fantastic time playing this game. I still would have liked a little bit more mission variety in terms of exactly what you had to do, but overall I had a fantastic time with my 4 to 5 hours that I got to play this game. And there is actually a lot of depth to the customization of the grappling system. You guys are watching me. My biggest thing is when I do these events, I tell you guys your biggest enemy is time. So I didn't get to experiment as much as I would have wanted with customizing the grappling hook and testing out the physics of the game. But I actually had a developer sitting beside me.
If you defeat them, you can take his equipment to him at the Tomb of Samat.
In a later episode, if I'm allowed to post it, I will show you guys what some really solid gameplay, making full use of the customization system with the grappling hook, will actually look like. It was so beautiful watching one of the developers playing it because it was just, everything was just so smooth, pulling off these crazy jumps and abilities, basically never touching the ground. So if you want to see, if I'm able to show you guys what pro level, quote unquote pro level gameplay looks like, I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised with the results of what you can actually do and pull off with the sorry, I just pulled off one of my patented penis shots that I do once in a while in video games. But yeah, once you get used and to fully take advantage of the grappling hook system in this game, I find that it becomes even more rewarding as you play, just because everything just transitions and flows so smoothly. But this is another main mission, so we are on our path to get another upgrade for our grappling hook that you saw in the previous game. I think this is the power retractor that allows you to basically pull larger objects that have more mass. And a little bit later, we'll pick up the nitro ability as well. what you're gonna see here in a couple of seconds is some vehicles. So the majority of the vehicles that you found on Just Cause 3 pretty much make the return, with some notable new ones that you may or may not see as well in a future episode. So
I'm sorry we weren't able to meet.
This better be worth it, amigo.
It is. I promise you. Lost.
So we have to do a quick edit here and add the high level retracting abilities so we can pull up this massive door. So the majority of the vehicles, planes, powerboats, cars, motorcycles, they all return in this game and they're fully interactable as you would expect. Personally, myself, choppers are cool and everything, but when given the choice, you can literally just hang glide and pull yourself and parachute across the map if you're able to pull it off well enough. So, and yeah, I have pretty much said what I had to say in the first episode.
Place, Javi.
An aqueduct, at least 6 centuries old, and sealed off by the Black Hand since its discovery. I promise I will explain everything. There's a map inside the plane. You can get my coordinates from there.
We're gonna hop in one of these aforementioned airplanes and go
Got your map. Where am I going?
I'd like to begin with where you're coming from. That aqueduct is hidden behind those doors for a reason. For years, I have gathered evidence that the indigenous peoples of Solís were more advanced than we've been told. The Espinosas didn't like anyone challenging their narrative. I was imprisoned, my wife won't speak to me, my reputation is ruined.
Your shady friends seem to think you are okay.
I made allies in prison, people who'd seen the cracks in the facade. Now they help me uncover the truth.
And what do you need me for?
I believe I have discovered the path to the tomb of Otorongo, last ruler of the pre-Espinosa people of Solís. According to the history books, Otorongo was executed for countless murders, but I believe the reality is more complex and dangerous.
To who?
The Espinosas, their monopoly. If this part of history is not true, what else might be false? Histories, criminal records, election results. Truth is a commodity to the wealthy. Dropping off plata, and ka-ching. Your lie becomes the law.
You had a lot of time to think in prison, huh?
You have no idea, Senor Rodriguez.
This guy's like a tinfoil
Find me at
hat
the
guy.
mouth of the cenote when you arrive.
The what?
A cave in the top of the mountain.
Drop down. So we're gonna finish this episode off with the Indiana Jones moment. So that'll be it for my commentary anyways in this first episode, and I will be bringing you more, guys, in the future. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, if you enjoyed, thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below, and I'll respond to as many as I possibly can. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a fantastic day.
That object is why we need the retract motor, Rico. I believe it is connected to underground machinery. Use the retract motor to pull on the device.
That sounded like something.
I see it. A giant head. Rico, follow it.
I can tell what kind of day this is going to be.
That Uma is an ancient sculpture of an honored person. This one may be Sumak's visage.
Javi, big guy and I are at the floor of the cave.
What do you see?
There's a mechanism in the ground. Looks about the same size as the head.
It's a giant lock, Rico. The Uma is the key. Can you use the retract to get the Uma to the mechanism?
Why not? Something happened, A door opened up. There's a human skull with a candle inside.
Light it, and be ready for it.
There's text on the wall. I'm buried. Only 5 beds remain. That mean anything to you?
No. It sounds like a single line from a longer text. There must be more.
If it's gonna screw over Espinosa, count me in.
Bueno. Others close to Otorongo will likely have the other lines. The tombs of his family, his advisors.
I'll keep my eyes open. Sargento, what about this movie producer you talked about?
Think she was a director? King something. You should meet with her, Jefe.